Welcome to this demonstration of One-Place Mail, a product within the One-Place solution suite for providing seamless Outlook to SharePoint integration with enhanced email management capabilities for Microsoft SharePoint and the Office 365 platform. In this demonstration, you'll see how easy it is to access and save content to SharePoint and Office 365 from Microsoft Outlook. Firstly, let's add a connection to our SharePoint environment. You can make a connection to both SharePoint on-premise and Office 365 environments. For enterprise deployments, you would normally deploy one or more connections on behalf of end users as part of your configuration. I'll add a few locations as favorites, making it easy for me to get to the locations in SharePoint I care about, removing any other clutter of SharePoint. I can set more specific behaviors for these locations, such as saying I want to show the Save to SharePoint window for completing additional metadata when saving to this location. But for now, I'll just leave the defaults and hit OK. My favorite SharePoint Office 365 locations are now available on the left navigation of Outlook. I'll select the email document library I've just added as a favorite. This provides direct access to SharePoint content with an Outlook style experience, showing SharePoint content with an inbox style, previews of your SharePoint content, and the ability to select from the available views of the library or list. All the view columns, filtering, sorting, and group by settings are presented. You can also search for content and filter the items in the view even further. SharePoint is only one click away, making it easy to access the full power of SharePoint while staying within a familiar Microsoft Outlook experience, minimizing change for end users and encouraging the adoption of SharePoint. The web browser is embedded in Outlook and provides full SharePoint capabilities, including access to the ribbon, item menus, and customization and/or branding you may have implemented. I'll toggle back to Outlook and you can see we also have a ribbon with actions such as View Properties and Email as Link and Attachments. When writing an email, you can add further links or email attachments if required. Once you've completed your email, you can send and file the email to SharePoint. If I select a library with folders or document sets, these will automatically display, allowing you to drill down into any folder structure. In a similar way, libraries containing document sets are also displayed. I can filter the list of document sets in the navigation tree by simply selecting a location and typing a few characters. The navigation tree is both consistent and common in capability across the One-Place Solutions suite of products, meaning your favorite locations are also available in One-Place Docs and therefore in Microsoft Office, Adobe Acrobat, and Windows Explorer. Let's now take a look at saving content from Outlook to SharePoint. I'll go back to my inbox to show how to save emails and email attachments from Outlook to SharePoint. I'll select a few emails and drag and drop to the email document library. These emails are saved to the email library in SharePoint, with all the email attributes automatically promoted to SharePoint columns. This should be a very familiar experience for end users using Outlook. Let's have a look at the results by clicking on the email library. If I view the item properties, you can see all the email attributes we've automatically captured. I'll go back to my inbox and select some more emails and save these emails as to a favorite location in SharePoint, requiring additional metadata to be completed. The Save to SharePoint window is presented when saving emails or email attachments. The navigation tree allows you to select a folder or document set within the library. A content type can be selected for the location and the appropriate metadata columns will be presented. The metadata can be completed with support for all standard column types. If a location contains a required column, this is respected and must be completed prior to saving to SharePoint. Manage metadata columns provide support for full type ahead capability and also the selection from browsing the terms and taxonomy. If the term set is open, you can also add new items to the term store. The associated task in this example is a lookup column in SharePoint and supports full type ahead selection of list items. You can also use the selection window to locate and select an item. In the event the item is not in the list, you can create a new item from the window without the need to navigate back to SharePoint. This makes it possible to build intuitive, user-friendly solutions. On completing the metadata, you can save the content into SharePoint. Let's take a look at the results in SharePoint. I can either select the document library or go to my recent locations. Here you can see the emails we've just saved, and if I look at the properties, you can see all the metadata we have entered and automatically captured email attributes. Saving email attachments is just as simple. Select an email containing some attachments, either right-click and save, or drag and drop the attachments to a favorite or recent location. For this location, the Save to SharePoint window will appear. To save some time completing metadata, you can use the Location Content tab to select an existing item and use the item properties as the default values. You can further adjust the metadata and save the attachments to SharePoint. If we take a look back in SharePoint, you can now see the attachments we've just saved. To reply to an email in SharePoint, simply double-click on the email. The email is opened in Outlook and I can reply. Documents from SharePoint can be inserted as either links or as attachments to the email. If a file is selected from elsewhere using the standard attach file in Outlook, upon selecting a file, I'm asked if I would prefer to save this file to SharePoint and send a link instead. This saves sending large attachments around the network, helps reduce duplicate files, and promotes the efficient collaboration and best practice document management. I will send this email, and OnePlace Mail can remind me to save the email into SharePoint. This reminder can be disabled across the organization if you wish. Back in my inbox, the Outlook ribbon makes it easy for me to simply select one or more emails and save to a recent location. Or, if I prefer, I can simply drag and drop. You can also take advantage of SharePoint Search, defining one or more search locations to be made available from within Microsoft Outlook. Here you are using the full power of Microsoft SharePoint Search, but staying within the familiar environment of Microsoft Outlook. OnePlace Mail helps minimize change and provides greater productivity for end users by bringing SharePoint to where you work, resulting in greater adoption of solutions on the SharePoint and Office 365 platform. It takes less than 3 minutes to download OnePlace Mail, install, and get started. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about OnePlace Mail.